Welcome. This is Robin Nielsen, and I am so glad to be with you this evening. This is Inspiration Week, and this is day 4. And the whole goal of this week is to really inspire you to take charge of your health right now. So I just want you to know that it's so possible for you to feel so much better. And you've heard two stories so far, one from Annalisa Vicencio on Monday and one from Rebecca Rains on Tuesday. And yesterday I showed you how to get started because it can be so confusing and it certainly can seem really hard, especially when your energy is really low and you're getting so much mixed information about what's right. You can, certainly one day hear that this is exactly what you should be doing to support your body and your life. And then the next day you read something completely contrary to that. And so it can be really confusing. So we're here to sort of clear away some of the confusion, keep it super simple, and motivate you to take care of yourself right now because there's truly nothing more important. I have my little puppy in my office and she's sneezing. So if you hear anything funny in the background, that's what it is. So today, my really special guest is the beautiful Lindsay Chandler. And I want to say hello, Lindsay. So great to be here with you. And Lindsay, oh my gosh, Lindsay and I go way back. Oh, my poor little puppies keep sneezing. Lindsay and I used to work together, and then she moved a couple times and started a family, and things changed, and then we got reconnected maybe 3 years ago. Is that right?
Yeah, almost maybe 4. Yeah, almost.
Yeah, so something like that, and oh my gosh, Lindsay and I had so many of the same symptoms, right? And she's going to share those with you. I won't divulge all of her information yet. I'll let her share with you. And so we had so many of the same symptoms, and she just was a rock star and sort of knocking it out. And over time, she really healed a lot. And then she had a couple of setbacks. So she's going to share with you, sort of her path to getting well after having a lot of the similar challenges that I experienced. So welcome, Lindsay. It's so awesome for you to be here.
Thank you, Robin. I'm excited to share.
Yeah. So your volume is a little bit low, at least for me. So just, yeah, make sure you speak up because we want to hear absolutely everything you have to say. So, so Lindsay, why don't you just start like at the very beginning when I first met you, and like what were some of the things, some of the symptoms that you were experiencing that you really wanted to get a handle on?
When I first met you, probably like nine years ago, I think my biggest struggles at the time, without even really realizing that those were struggles, is I had acne, I had irregular periods, I had was losing clumps of hair, and I had terrible digestion, and I didn't feel good at all. And but I had always had those problems,
Right.
you know, and
Mhm.
I didn't get diagnosed with PCOS until I was 32 and trying to conceive my second child. And then once I found out that I had PCOS, it just everything I experienced my whole life, I thought, this explains it. This
Yeah.
is what was happening, and no one knew that was going on.
Mhm.
But I mean, lots of things through my life I struggled with. Weight, insomnia at times because I just was too hard on my body. Always irregular periods, acne, digestive issues, joint pain. My body hurt when I had my son. I was 30 years old and like just standing up off the floor. That was before I even really, like, I thought I was doing better, but I still had just so much pain.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of those things over time, even as a child, I look back and think that is why. That's why I was heavy. That's why I was tired all the time. That's why I never felt good. I like never felt good until I was 32 years old. And no one ever told me that you're not supposed to not feel good. You should be feeling really, really good. So, um, but as through my life, it changed. Things came and went, and I was really heavy at one time and really thin at another time, but never healthy. I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, so much of what you talk about was me, and I think when you and I first met, and we were just talking about this. Lindsay came to my office, and she had been working at like Saks Fifth Avenue or
yeah, Neiman.
Neiman Marcus, and of course, she was dressed to the nines. She wore high heel shoes. She was so sexy and darling. And I think it wasn't until like you started seeing some of my other clients' issues and doing the blood work analysis and all that you started to say, hey, I think that I need to be doing some of this, and I need to be figuring some of this out for myself. And that was like the same for me. I had no idea that what I was experiencing could be better, or that what I was, like my acne, that I didn't actually have to have that. And, that I really wasn't supposed to be constipated. Like that wasn't normal. And, all these things. And I think that we end up finding these things out sort of secondhand. And then we start exploring, how to feel better. So you had started on that journey of, starting to take some nutrients and starting to change your diet and all that. But it kind of really hit home when you couldn't get pregnant with your second child, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think I had started making changes then, I would just say like not eating so much gluten, but I was still eating or drinking beer, or you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
And then I think when I wanted to get pregnant with my second child, I had spent like a year and a half trying to figure it out on my own, how to be healthy, how to feel my best. Like it was a process. And then I got to that point where I was doing really good things for myself, but I still wasn't ovulating. There were still things holding me back. I was missing the nutrients is what it was,
Mm-hmm.
and it was so important. It was, in 6 weeks, it was life changing, really.
Okay, so don't give away the punchline yet. So basically, we had kind of lost touch, and Lindsay got a diagnosis of PCOS because she was unable to get pregnant. So tell us about how that PCOS diagnosis transpired.
Well, we had tried for a year and a half to get pregnant, and I had had one miscarriage, early term miscarriage, and then I said to myself, well, after 3 more months, I'm going to go to the doctor and see. And so they had done some blood work, and I just had elevated testosterone levels, but just that itself was causing me not to ovulate. So the doctor had put me on Clomid. I did it for five rounds of Clomid, and I ovulated one time out of those 5, and it was awful. I felt awful the whole process, and I think then when I got that diagnosis, I had got online, I had found some information, but I think it's like for me, I didn't really think that was me. I even went into the doctor's office saying, I don't think I have PCOS. I was in the best shape of my life. I was, healthy. I was feeling good. I didn't think that was me. And then I got the diagnosis, and I had come across the website, and, I just started doing more research for myself to figure out. And the more I had learned about it, the more is when I thought, wow, like I have struggled with this my whole entire life.
So when you say you found the website, you found PCOS.com, and then you saw that I was associated with the website.
Yeah.
And then I get this PM from Lindsay, and it's like, oh my gosh, Lindsay's reconnecting. And she had said that, she was contemplating that she'd just been diagnosed with PCOS. She was having trouble conceiving. She was contemplating going on yet another round of Clomid and just wasn't sure, what to do. And so I knew Lindsay and I knew that she like so diligent in every way. But I also knew that, she was really, really good about following instructions. And so I just had a sense that she was a little bit too low carb for all that she was doing in her life. So I suggested that she add a little bit of carb in, that she get on the 5-element system for PCOS right away. And she said yes. I was so proud of her. And okay, so just keep in mind, like Lindsay already had a lot of the 5-element system down, right? She had the movement part down, although she probably pushed herself a little bit too much on a regular basis. And she had the eating part down, although she was still eating probably a little bit too low carb for all that she was doing. She was missing, obviously, some good nutrients. And 10 weeks later, I think I get an email from you that says, we're pregnant.
Yeah.
And we're 5 months or 5 weeks along, right?
Yeah. 30 days from starting the nutrients, I had got a period. I had not had a period in 30 days ever. It was always much longer period of time. It was the first time I had ever had a period from day 1 to day 30. And then
Well, I'm getting chills. Oh my gosh, that's so. I don't think I realized that part.
yeah. So I mean, I knew as soon as I started taking the nutrients, something was happening.
Mm.
I felt my hair was different, my skin was different. Tons of things changed. I had lost what 22 inches in those 6 weeks or 10 weeks that I was taking the nutrients, and
Mhm.
yeah, and then I ovulated. I mean, I had not even ovulated on Clomid.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
So
amazing. I didn't realize that it went so fast for you.
it was really fast. It was really,
Gosh.
but so many things happened in the short amount of time that were so amazing. It was it's crazy.
Yeah. So what are, like I say, you had a lot of the pieces down before, we connected again and you started the 5-element system. So, what would you tell a woman right now who, is really confused where to begin and, she's just a little bit unsure of her path? Like, what are some things that really helped you um, just start to figure things out?
Well, I think food. I mean, I think food is number one. I mean, I think that we're so kind of uneducated on food as a culture, that our society, I guess, that that's really just so much information. It's so confusing, but I think food is the first step. Food, sleep, and the nutrients. I think
Mhm.
are the three things that really make the difference. But food.
Yeah, food, and then food.
So
Yeah.
taking the time to learn about food, what food is going to support your body the best, and that takes time. It just doesn't happen right away. Years.
Mhm.
How many years have I been doing this now? My son will be 6, or he's 6. He's already 6, and I started changing my diet shortly after he was born. And I can say now that I feel like I understand how food affects my body. I can feel it. I can it you know it can make the day so much better if I have the right food.
Mhm.
So, and I think that just is once you take the time to figure all that out, figure out how food affects your body and makes you feel and how your body responds to the food, you'll you'll feel like your hormones will feel more normal and you'll feel good. and
Mhm.
but it takes time. The food, you gotta start with the food. I
Yes, and it's interesting, I think, because you knew like what you should be eating
right,
way before Parker was born,
right.
and you kind of dabbled in it, I think. And I think sometimes it's not until we get really desperate that we start to take it more seriously. And then when you start to feel so much better, you get pretty committed because you don't want to feel crappy again.
Right. Well, that's exactly it. I don't ever want to
Mhm.
feel the way I used to feel.
Right.
I don't ever want to feel that way again. I would
Mhm.
go home from work in my 20s and just my body would hurt. My stomach, my digestion was just it was miserable. I couldn't wait to lay down. I
Mhm.
just at the end of the day I like want to just unbutton my pants, just lay there because I felt awful. I didn't
Mhm.
know that people didn't feel that way, or I shouldn't have felt that way.
Mhm.
So over the time and making all these changes and figuring out what supports my body, I now know like I'm never gonna feel that way unless I eat something I shouldn't have eaten, and then I'm like, ooh, I don't feel very good. You
Mhm.
know, I realize now that that's my body's way of telling me this is not supporting you.
That was exactly the same for me. I would have to unbutton my pants. I felt so uncomfortable. My poor, stomach and abdomen just was so crampy all the time. It was horrible. Yeah. Yeah, and food, oh my gosh, food is so powerful, right? It's really it's the number one thing that you have to do. And I know, all my colleagues, anybody who gets it, says that what you eat helps you to lose weight, not exercise,
Right.
right? And you have to get healthy to lose weight. And we just have that all mixed up. And we just can't shake that, diet mentality.
I
And so, if you're somebody who's been contemplating finding the perfect right diet for you in this new year, please let go of that. Right? Like if weight loss is one of your goals right now, you've got to let go of the diet mentality.
right. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot more that goes into it than just the diet and the exercise together. You know, both are important, but if you're not doing the one that supports your body, you're not going to make any progress.
Right.
I have found over the last, well, I would say since having children and understanding that like I can't exercise, over exercise does not equal weight loss. A lot of times rest equals weight loss. I'm better off sleeping an extra hour or two if I'm looking to lose weight, which seems crazy, but it's absolutely true in many cases, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Your body needs those resources to heal and restore. And yeah, and look how beautiful your skin is, right? And okay, so we didn't share the next thing, which is you not only had one more child, you had two more children. And so Lindsay is so there's the other side of the coin, which is it can make you really fertile.
Yeah, that was a surprise baby.
Oh, and she's so beautiful.
The best. She's the best. So
Oh, all your kids are amazing. You have the most beautiful family. And so were you able to lose the baby weight okay? And do you feel like your metabolism is coming back?
after this baby, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've noticed now after each baby, my body loses a certain amount of weight and then it holds on. I think because I'm really tired from, nursing. And when I'm nursing, my body doesn't want to give anything away.
Right.
It
Mm-hmm.
wants to make sure I'm making enough food for my baby. So I understand that, I probably have like 3 pounds to lose.
Oh,
But
that is nothing. That
yeah,
is nothing. So some women like hold on to like an extra 10 to 20 pounds. Their body just has to have those reserves in order to have enough milk. And you have to eat enough carbs to have enough milk so it's not watery. And so and I know that you nursed for a long time, and that's really a lot on your body. So you have to make sure that you just keep eating enough. And then when you're done nursing, your body can then,
yeah, you got to give yourself the time to heal. And the baby comes first. I mean, so I don't know. The nursing it's so good for them. But I don't know. The last few pounds, I'm not worried about it.
no. And Lindsay has become such a crazy, amazing, like cook and food advocate. Like she really, really believes and she really gets it. So she is our PCOS food advocate in our 5 Element group. And she posts these beautiful pictures and she has her kids involved in, making treats and beautiful meals and all of it. So that's one of the, amazing side benefits of being part of the, 5 Element program is that you get Lindsay's amazing support around food, which, we think is the cat's meow, right? It's like the number one thing that we have to pay attention to. So could you like share a little bit about the 5 Element system and like why you believe it's so important for helping women with these hormone imbalance issues?
Well, I mean, I think it's amazing. When I first started the system, I was eating well. I was in the best physical shape I had been in. My son was sleeping through the night, so I was sleeping good. Um, I added those nutrients in, and like so many things changed. My skin, the texture of my skin was like glowing. I had gotten compliments on my skin, and never in my entire life had I ever received compliments on my skin. My hair, everything. I had lost the 22 inches. I don't know. They're like magical. The system. So, but I think it's so important. I don't know. They just
Mhm.
they changed a lot of things. So, and I felt amazing. I felt amazing.
It was so interesting. I think that your first feedback was it wasn't that I was pregnant, it was that I've lost 21 and a half inches. And I'm like, holy cow, she's too little to lose that many inches.
I didn't even think that was possible either. 5 pounds. I lost 5 pounds in those 6 weeks. I lost 5 pounds and the 22 inches.
And
So
that was like, so that was total. That was like around your arms, around your thighs, around your middle.
right, but I felt a difference. I
Mm-hmm.
see and feel a difference, and not just in, like I said, not just in my weight, but in all other things too.
Mm-hmm.
Which felt amazing. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, you kind of had the other parts dialed in, and like this was kind of the missing piece for you, and it, just really helped to, it helps to balance your blood sugar. So insulin resistance is a really big factor. So it helps you to become more insulin sensitive. It supports digestion. It supports your adrenals, right? So it gives you more energy right away. There's so many nutrients in there. I think when we're talking to Rebecca on Tuesday, she was saying how she and her mom had looked up all the things that you need to support, all these different hormone imbalances. And she said, everything was in the Insulite nutrients, and we didn't have to go get all those, 15 bottles. And, there are small amounts of a lot of things, but, it's a pretty powerful combination that has been like extremely effective. It was formulated by a naturopathic physician, and over the years, we've just put in more bioavailable forms of some of the nutrients so that it works even better. But it's so awesome that supported you in such a powerful way. And then, you know, when you get pregnant, we suggest that you go off the Insulite nutrients and you go onto the Pregnancy Plus system so that you can keep, you know, feeling your best and have a really healthy pregnancy and then have healthy nursing as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been on that for how many years now?
I know. Well, pretty soon here, you're going to get back to normal and you'll, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say the system for sure. I had stopped taking other nutrients, you know, all the separate that I was taking before, and I just started taking the Insulite. And at the time, I don't think you offered the fish oil, so I added that on its own. But instead of a whole pile of different things, like you're saying, everything was in there that I.
Yeah, so we do have the Plus system too, and that's a good point. So for, you know, for the special that we're offering this week, we are not offering the Plus system on sale, but if it's something you want, we will certainly give you a link to that and give you a code so that you can buy it at a special price for the 3 months, because we really want you to commit for the long term. So we're giving you a great price on 3 months. And of course, you know, if you've been listening during the week, 3 months is nothing, right? It's kind of the beginning of your healing journey, although you can see a lot of great changes pretty quickly. So Lindsay, what would you say? Like if you were to tell a woman, you know, how long to, you know, commit to, like how, you know, with making changes to her diet and making changes to, you know, sort of her lifestyle and, you know, kind of flooding her body with these great nutrients, like how long should she commit to doing this to see some changes?
Oh, well, to see changes, I think it's going to depend on the person, but I mean, I think, I don't know, what for a month, 2 months, 3 months. I mean, you got to start somewhere and make small changes as you go. I mean, even if you started with the nutrients for 1 month and then decided to change some of your eating habits on month 2, and then on month 3, try new exercise, but while still doing the nutrients and the food and all that, because really once you get started and you start on this path like of healing, it's forever. You have to do it forever. If you want to feel fantastic forever, you have to keep at it. But to start small. And if taking the nutrients is something totally new, then that's where you start. You know, and then
yeah, I love that. And that's why we actually don't even talk about food until month 2. So that's what we're talking about in February is all about food. But, you know, the first module is all about just getting organized around your nutrients and your mindset and all of that, because you have to make room in your life for you. Yeah, I think that's amazing advice. Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us today, Lindsay. We're so grateful.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and you'll have to post a picture of your sweet babies on the page here. Your full life that you have, and yeah, and if you decide to join the 5-element system for hormone balance, you'll be invited into our special group, and you'll get inspired by Lindsay's amazing meal ideas and recipes and videos and all of that. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow with our final episode. Bye, everyone.